Chuck promised he'd be here.
Well, we have a
Yes, he
quorum.
did.
We have Liz. Hey,
Hi,
Liz.
Liz.
How are you?
Good.
I
How are you?
almost forgot you. I'm sorry.
Of course not.
It's a pretty nice day out. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, we can go sit on respective porches.
We could do that. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So let's get started,
Flowers.
shall
Yes,
we?
good idea.
Call the meeting to order. First item of business,
We've got Joe.
do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Mary, Joan, second. Joan, okay. Favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Any requests to pull out anything from the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the oral reports. Liz and then Joan, would you please enlighten us as to what's happening?
Okay. Who's going first? I'm sorry.
Liz is going to go first.
Okay, good.
On the move, though. I don't know if she knows. Liz, you're on.
Oh, Liz
Sorry.
muted herself.
I'm still trying to. Can you give me 3 minutes and I'll come back? Is that all right?
Okay.
Sorry
Right.
about that.
Joan,
Do you want me to start? Yeah, I'll start.
Please.
Okay, so the Friends meeting was Wednesday, May 27th, and at 5 o'clock. And everyone was doing well and very excited to hear each other's voices. It was a very social kind of meeting. And they're truly looking to reopen the bookstore, next chapter, and trying to figure out how to do it. Definitely limiting the amount of people coming in, sending out information that please don't leave books that you wouldn't want to read yourself because they're in such bad condition. I guess they're getting, a lot of books they have to get rid of or whatever. They're trying to keep down the amount of time that their volunteers spend. Also, that when they do open, the hours will be more limited, and having the dealers first by themselves before actually individuals come in. And they said they would do it slowly and see what happens. They will not be having their annual meeting this year. Another thing is they're doing very well with donations. And I believe, Teresa, you were there. They said let them know when, regarding on new computers. Did they not say that? Did I hear that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So they were interested in that. So I think all in all, I hope I didn't miss anything, they're really excited about opening and getting going. And like everybody, trying to figure out what is the best way to do that. So I think the two main things is maybe less hours at first and definitely limiting the amount of people that would come in.
Okay, that all sounds certainly reasonable. Liz, did you have some other comments that you'd like to share?
Everything Joan said was wonderful, and we're doing very well money-wise. We also, just to make note, we're going to give the library $8,000 on schedule in June.
Terrific.
So
That's
we're
great.
all set with that.
Yeah, great.
And I went into the Hodge on Saturday. All the books are set up. We're ready to take donations, and as they mentioned, we'll be taking our time getting that set so it's done safely. And so we're ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add one thing to the Friends meeting. They're sending out their mid-year mailer in the coming weeks. So there's there's not a lot of content in there just because there's usually we advertise a summer reading program and book sales and stuff like that. But it's more going to be about reopening the next chapter
Right.
this summer.
Right.
That's coming to
Right.
your mailboxes soon.
Well, we all know it's important to keep these communications going.
Mhm.
Yes.
Excellent. Hello, Sierra.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Sierra.
Can I get situated over here?
Where's Sierra?
Oh.
Wait for me.
He's in multiple.
We have to count these as 2 members of the public.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
We can do that.
Okay, thank you, Joan and Liz.
You're welcome.
Okay. The annual fund drive, I have a figure from our treasurer, which is 49,915.
Nice.
So if somebody would please make up that little bit of difference. Well, actually, that's just a reminder. Make sure, you want to make sure that your donation is in for this fiscal year. I
By
have,
June 30th?
I'm sorry,
By June 30th?
by June 30th, please.
Okay, go downstairs now.
Okay.
I thought you said it was here.
Okay, we don't have anything on the action agenda. I'm looking down here. Next item is Teresa telling us what's going on with Hodge, and then we'll discuss reopening of the library.
Okay.
Which has been just gathering more concrete estimates for the work that was approved by the Board of Finance. I had a couple people come out to do the furnace, and on Wednesday I'm meeting with somebody who's going to look at the crawl space and dehumidifying that space. So Andy from the Board of Finance is going to meet me there on Wednesday to do that. One funny thing with the furnace is that I got 2 different estimates, and they're based on different setups of the Hodge. So initially we were planning on closing off the attic completely and not regulating the temperature up there. And so the first is based on less square footage, so it's a smaller furnace. And then we decided the attic work is not going to happen right now. So plans to, totally seal off those ducts right now. I mean, I guess we could shut the vent, but I don't know if that makes that big a difference. And so the second estimate that we got is based on the attic still being part of the system. And so they estimate for a larger furnace, which obviously is more expensive. So I've reached out to the first person to see if I can get a revision for if it makes a difference if the attic is included in there, if we need a bigger furnace or not, in their opinion.
Sure.
So I've got to check in again.
Okay.
So that's going on, and I got an estimate from Rex for the well. I need to check in with Barbara at Town Hall to see if they'll be able to provide the trenching. Well, again, it's hard. There's so many different ways to do this.
Right.
The first estimate that we got as part of the architect's plan includes no trenching. It's assuming that the trenching is supplied by the town. The second estimate includes the trenching in the cost. So it's there's a lot of apples to oranges going on.
Yeah, you're not comparing the same thing, right?
Yeah, so I've got to get that cleared out. But,
Okay.
moving along.
Good. Good.
Okay, well, give us a shout out if you need anybody to help you in any way. Visit it. Glad you're going to be going with Andy because he's a decision maker there, and that will be quite useful, and he's knowledgeable. So
Yeah, and I plan on bringing up the well and the furnace situation with him with the weird estimates to see what he thinks.
Perfect.
Just so that if we do go over on one of those, then he'll know why.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, you want to tell us where you are with the reopening? We talked about this, I can't believe it's been months since our last meeting. I think it's one of those calendar quirkies, but.
I know. So we're doing pretty well. The initial plan as of the last meeting was to open with the phase 2 on June 20th, which is a Saturday. The governor, as I'm sure you all know, the governor pushed up phase 2 to the 17th. I'm planning on just sticking with the 20th. I'm mentally prepared for that, so I'm just going to go with it. It'll be me and Muffy on that Saturday. We were the last two to work when we closed, and we'll be the first
Aw.
to work when we open. So we'll keep it even. The governor just released some guidelines yesterday for reopening libraries. You know, the social distancing, washing hands.
Okay.
Some recommendations on closing off public spaces and that kind of thing. There wasn't really anything surprising in those guidelines. It was all things that we were already planning on doing.
Okay.
I met with our fire marshal Janet Morgan.
Mhm.
And I know the capacity, you know, we're supposed to be at maximum 50% capacity of all these buildings.
Mhm.
I didn't know what the capacity of the library or the lodge is. So I had Janet come out and give me that. The capacity for the library is, I think, 300. So we'll be staying well below 50%.
Okay, good.
6 is my lucky number, so I'm going to go with 6 people, 6 patrons in the library at a time. It's just arbitrary, but that's what most libraries are doing. They're just picking a number they feel comfortable with, and I like 6, so we'll go with 6.
Okay.
And
At our last meeting, Mary had some concerns about what town's doing versus other town libraries. Can you speak to that?
yeah, so you mean our library versus other libraries?
Yeah, for starters.
So we're doing what everybody else is doing. I think most libraries are planning on opening up on the 22nd,
Mhm.
on that Monday.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit better doing Saturday because it's a shorter day.
Okay.
Good.
And
Sense.
it'll be me and one other person who feels comfortable working with the public and is anxious too. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm picking Saturday.
Okay.
But
Okay,
it'll
good.
be a shorter day with people that are on board. Yeah, and everyone else is kind of doing the same thing. I think Woodbury is limiting their library to 10 people. I saw Torrington is doing, I think it's like 25 or something like that, but they're obviously a much bigger library. So everyone's mostly on the same page. There's a few variations. Some libraries are not having children come in. Most are limiting groups to either 1 or 2 people per like unit, I guess. I personally feel a little weird about not having kids in the library and having them pick out their own books. I know they like to do that. So my plan as of now is to have 6 patrons maximum in the building at once. And then to limit that to 2 people per group. So whether that's, you know, a parent and a child or a couple or, you know, whatever it is, obviously kids need to be accompanied by an adult, but that way, you know, the kids can still come in, but there'll be, you know, at least one parent per child. So that's my thinking so far. And yeah, so Jeff made some wonderful, wonderful plexiglass stands for us.
They look great.
They match the desk, which is great. And I had to order a couple more pieces of plexiglass. So I haven't gotten those yet, but I'm sure we'll have them by next Saturday. They have been shipped and they're on their way.
Excellent. I was kind of making them the color of your eyes, but I figured that would be too dark.
when you said 6 maximum, is that including family units, or is it or
That's 6 total.
total? So if one mother comes in with 5 kids, that's it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to
Exactly.
limit it to 2 people.
No,
per.
it's 2 group, Mary. In other words, a group can't be more than 2.
Right.
So you can't come in with 5 kids.
So maximum 3 groups.
Yeah.
That's right.
Correct.
And I want to ask, because I haven't been following the governor's stuff, for public buildings like this, are people required to wear masks and gloves, or is that individually our decision to make whether we require that?
They are, I mean, I don't know if it's a state requirement, but we will be requiring face coverings. In
Good.
life.
Yeah. No mask, no entry.
Yeah. So in the what I put on the website, it says face coverings required. If for some reason you're unable to wear a face mask, we will still do the contact-free pickup. So if someone can't wear a mask for medical reasons, or they refuse to for personal reasons, we'll still check stuff out to them, and we'll just set it outside. They just can't come into the building.
Okay.
Right. Good.
One quick,
Masks. I'm not going to require gloves, but I will put, there is plenty of hand sanitizer.
one quick thought on the 6 people limit there. You said you picked that out because of your favorite number, and I understand it's a little bit arbitrary, but it seems to me that given the space of the library and everything else, we could handle 10 or 12 people without any problem with the distancing and all the rest of that stuff. And the lower the number, if you get down to the 6s and things, I can anticipate you personally going to have arguments with people. Well, I want to come in. I'll stay away from other people. I got 3 kids with me. What do you mean 2 can't come in? All of that stuff. So I would think it'd make your life easier if you make that number 10 or 12 rather than 6. But again, it's your decision. You're the one going to be living with it. So you do what you think is right.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of that is thinking about the layout of the library. So, I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3. We have certain numbers of stacks.
Yeah. I'll go with your decision, whatever it is. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it to me. If you're comfortable with it, I'm trying to save you some hassle. That's all. If you're comfortable with it, go with it.
Well, to go with, just to explain my brain in that, I had heard Woodbury was doing 10. I know the size of the Woodbury Library, and we're smaller, so I thought, we'll do less than 10. So,
no.
I
mean, you can always up it. There's no reason why in a couple of weeks or a month you say now it went well and we're going to go 10 or 12, or maybe you'll have more volunteers in the library too. So that's not a rigid number. It could be changed. So.
Yeah. And so I'd rather start low and build up than have too many people in there and go, oh, you guys got to go. You gotta go.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Really
have an argument.
We'll endorse this for phase 2, and then you have the opportunity to as everyone's saying, expand as the summer progresses.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Very well thought out, Teresa. Very well reasoned. Thank you.
Could we have that reasoning in writing and copies to all of the board members, please?
Well, just get a couple flow charts there.
I got it. I'm recording it in my brain. I got it.
Okay. All right. Pam, would you tell us a little something how we're looking as we approach budget year end on our finance?
Sure. Okay. We're following the same process we have for the last couple of years in that we've looked at, we're coming into the last month of the fiscal year, so we are just taking a peek at where we are. But we will close in July and then go through our audit with RICO, probably sometime in July. We have August off as a board, so in September I will give you the variances for the different chart of account and the formal report.
Somebody's not agreeing.
He didn't like what I said. So that's the process, but we looked at it today, and we've had the benefit of a couple larger donations this year, which are good. I don't really give any numbers because we still have another month to go. But we have had some more expenses, some COVID related. So we're looking okay for our close, but I'll give you the specifics after we go through the various steps.
Mhm.
Okay. And then again, anticipating plans, we would, when the final numbers are in, we would want to schedule the personnel committee to meet with Teresa.
We will do that in early July after Teresa has time to finish her report to us based on the goals for the current year. And so that'll happen in early July before the middle of the month.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. And then next month, we should talk about the annual appeal. So be thinking about that if there are things you want to change, adjust. Joan had noted that we have an amazingly number of new people in town.
Yeah.
Lisa said they're coming in to get their cards and so on. So we probably should have a special effort to target at new residents. But let's think about that
Yeah.
before our
Okay.
July meeting. Am I heading for a record?
I think so.
Oh. Anything else anyone would like to bring up? Everybody's okay? I hope
Thank you.
Okay.
everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Let's have a garden party.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yay.
definitely.
Soon as we're-
I
soon as we're allowed-
owe everybody a a staff and volunteer party. So as soon as we can do it, yeah, I'd love to outside or something.
We do have a kegger in the works for former board member Carrie for her book release
Okay.
in early September. So fingers crossed, everything keeps getting better and we're able to do that.
Good.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
Second? Alan, thank you. Favor? Aye.
Hi.
Bye.
This is a record.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Meeting.
Bye.
Everyone have a great week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye.